Up. All right, perfect. I forgot I had the waiting room on here, so I'll be pausing probably to let people in as I go to. All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining. I'm Caitlin McGuffey, Deputy EVP at the Ohio Academy of Family Physicians and the OAFP Foundation. The OAFP Foundation is the organization that is supplying your student stipend or funding for your family medicine experience this summer. So just wanted to provide this space, this opportunity for you all to get together and ask any questions you had before heading into the summer rotation. And really that's about it. So it'll probably be good 15-20 minutes today in the afternoon. Hopefully not too long, but if you guys have questions along the way, I have a couple slides to go over. It's really kind of going over the information that was in the email that was sent. Please put those questions in the chat or unmute as we go along, and we should be good. Green. All righty. And waiting room. All right, and if you just joined and hadn't put your name in the chat, please do that as well. Well, welcome again to Leroy Rogers Preceptorship Program. I think it may also be called AHEC or different things at some of your universities. You'll probably hear me say quite a few things, times throughout this session that each university implements the program in varying ways. So everyone's experience may look a little bit different in that regard, but the main components are all the same, which I'll be going over this afternoon. The first component is really the main thing of this experience, and that's you working with your family physician mentor within 2 different hour options. So we've got 2 offerings that we have. The non-traditional experience is a $600 stipend, and that's doing at least 40 hours over the summer. Typically it's within the 4 weeks, but if that's a little bit shortened, that's okay. I know 40 hours isn't as much. And then the next option is the traditional experience, and that's 128 hours or more for a $1,500 stipend. The hours aren't prorated in any way, so you're either doing kind of 40 plus for that $600 or 128 plus for the $1,500. They can be in-person or virtual experiences. This was kind of started way back in the pandemic, so a lot of the experiences were virtual at that time, but was kind of left that flexibility. If you're working on any kind of projects for your practice, those hours on those type of things can definitely count. We'll have 2 webinars that I'll mention a little bit later. The hour or so spent on that can count as well. Shouldn't be too hard these days getting those hours, but if you do need those extra experiences to count that work. Really, this experience will be a little bit of what you make it. I think it's kind of the first time you're really getting into those clinical experiences in med school. So working with your preceptor, kind of go over, goals that you'd want to work on during the summer, checking to see if they have any gaps or need patient education materials, if they're working on a quality initiative that you can be part of. A lot of different ideas, but really just ask a lot of questions and kind of make it what you need. I also have like a list of different activities we've kind of collected over the years from students on what they've implemented, and I'll share that with you in a follow-up email next week. So you can kind of think through those. And then the stipends themselves, last note on here, they come to you in a different way per school. Some it might be an upfront reimbursement, some might be after the experience, and then some get applied to your student loan. So be sure to check with your coordinator on kind of how that payment process is set up. And if you aren't sure, you can reach out to me and I can help answer that for you. Are there any questions on kind of that first component, really the overall experience, stipends, payments, anything like that? Alrighty. So our second component, we implemented again in 2020 additional webinars just to provide some more education on family medicine in general, and they've been really well received. So still implementing those. This year we'll have 2 different sessions a little bit earlier on. Last year we had feedback that some of these we had a little bit later, and some had already started their rotation. So hopefully this is capturing everybody as they're beginning or before they start. That first one on May 4th is really just how to be successful this summer. We have students that were in last year's program. They'll be on to just give tips and best practices that they learned as they were heading into the rotations and throughout. So bring any questions you might have, and then they're also rising second year. So just if you have general questions on what to expect, as you're going along in your medical school journey, I'm sure they'd be happy to answer those as well. And then the second one is just general family medicine career. Family medicine physicians can do a lot of different things with that family medicine background. There's a lot of fellowships you can go into after. It's just really a great foundation to build the practice that you want in the future. So a lot of these physicians have kind of done different things within their career, and we'll just speak to those stories. So looking forward to that one. And then we also have sessions from the past 3 years, similar sessions that you can access on our YouTube channel to learn a little bit more. We've held the family medicine career session, I think, each year, and I've had different family docs talk on each one. So a lot of different stories and experiences you can learn from. These 2 will both be recorded. We hope that you can participate live, if at all possible, just to ask questions and kind of be together as a cohort of students this year. But if not, we will record them and you can watch those later if needed. We'll probably also open it up after the sessions for a little while if you all have questions for each other or want to connect. It's kind of the next slide here. We've tried this different ways over the years, but we've got about 75 students this summer, which is again one of our largest groups from each of the 7 medical schools in Ohio. So really just trying to provide ways for you all to connect. We've heard that feedback in the past. I just don't know that we've found the best way to do that. So we're willing to try different things. We've tried a group chat, we've tried a Facebook page, and those haven't really worked as well. So we're just hoping maybe on those webinars we can leave a little time for you all to connect if needed. I'm also going to send out a contact list of everyone. So if you want to reach out to each other, you can do that and lean on one another as you go through this experience. We'll also have a Board of Trustees meeting at the end of August that we welcome you to join just to share your experiences with a lot of our trustees who help fund and support this program. There's one question: will there be a certain way to log hours? Yes, it's very flexible. There's not super formal. In the attachment that I sent with the welcome email, there's an example hour log. So really, it's a way to prove which hour for stipend that you're getting. So kind of, you can say you were in the clinic from 8 to 3. That's fine on whatever day, just to kind of show your total of hours. Nothing too in-depth by any means, just a general overview would be great. And if Word document doesn't work, people in the past have used Excel, kind of whatever you want to keep track with that as far as formatting. Which leads into just kind of our final requirements. We ask that you all be a member of the American Academy of Family Physicians, which is then makes you a member of the Ohio chapter. That is free to do so. There was a link in that email, so be sure that you're a member. You'll attend a welcome Zoom meeting, which you're doing right now. That's great. You'll submit a final report just detailing your experience and just overall perspective of family medicine. There's another example that was attached, and I'll send again, just some basic questions asking about your experience. You'll submit that log of hours, and then there is a webinar series and program kind of overall evaluation to submit at the end. Really appreciate that feedback. We'll also send out just a general release form. It'd be great if you take any pictures with you and your preceptor or the team. If you could share that, we use that in promotions of the program. Really great to have. So that release form kind of covers using those photos. And then you'll send those materials to myself and or your program coordinator when you're finished with your rotation. Once we receive all the materials from each of you at each school, the foundation will send a check to the university, and then your funds will be dispersed kind of on how they have set up. So again, if you have questions on that process, let me know, or your coordinator, and we can confirm that for you. Any questions up until this point? Hello, welcome. Alrighty. This is a list of all of the coordinators that have been in contact. I'm going to mute you up. There's a little feedback. Hopefully you have reached out to them or been in contact to get your rotation set up. But there is that, just in case. Many of you may be placed with the preceptor. Some of you have to find your own. I know that's kind of the beginning stages for some of you right now. If you are in need of a preceptor and are struggling to find someone, let me know. We have a network of family physicians through our membership of over 2,500 throughout the state, especially if you're looking for someone, maybe you're going home for the summer in a different area of the state than your school. Let me know, and I can try to reach out to members that may be in the area to help set you up with a preceptor if you do not have that already. Just know that that connection is available to you. And then just wanted to go over some additional resources for you as you head into potentially your first rotation in a clinical setting. The Society of Teachers of Family Medicine has a lot of resources on their webpage. There's a great PDF just on how to be awesome in the clinical rotation. They have 3 online modules, great education pieces, and they have a student passport program. You may already be aware of this through your university. If not, or if this is something that's of interest to you, I think you need to have that connection with the university, and that can help you be set up as you head into more clinical rotations along the way. So just connect with your coordinator to see if that's something that's available. If not, the other resources are free to you and you can use as you need. And then just a couple other links there. And then I mentioned the activities for students. I'll send that out. It's just a PDF of things we've collected of projects or things you can ask your preceptor about to do if you're interested. And then just some upcoming, just general family medicine opportunities with the Academy. The national conference through the American Academy is end of July. Great experience, great event for those interested in family medicine, really good energy. The AFP does have scholarships to attend. That deadline is May 1st. And then the Ohio Foundation has scholarships. You need to apply for the AFP first. If you're not selected, we'll get a list of those from Ohio that weren't selected, and then we have additional funding to get to students. So be sure to do that if you're interested in attending that conference. We've got some different merchandise items available. We'll have an annual membership meeting in August, and then I mentioned our Board of Trustees meeting. We'd love for any of you interested to join and kind of share your experience from the summer. And that is it. You all are awesome. Thank you so much for wanting to learn more about family medicine, going into the communities this summer. I know this is an optional experience for all of you, so really excited to just see what you think and how family medicine resonates with you, and looking forward to kind of reading those reports after the fact. That's really all. Are there any questions? Let's see. Program end in June. Are we allowed to continue working with our preceptor beyond that date? And if so, we'll be able to continue logging hours. So we don't have a specific end date. That's probably in reference to just your university and maybe the summer timeline. Some summers are much shorter than other schools. I feel like Case might be one of the longest. They go a little bit more into August. So yeah, if there's availability with your preceptor and your schedule, I don't think that would be an issue. Double check with your coordinator just to make sure I'm missing something. And then yeah, those hours would count as well as far as on our end. Yeah. again, a lot of these situations are very flexible, just because 7 different schools do it a little bit differently. But if there are, specific questions, feel free to reach out to me anytime. I think I put my cell phone number in the email. Feel free to text, call, or email, whatever kind of support you need for the summer. If there are no other questions, that's all I have for you. I look forward to seeing you on our first webinar in a few weeks.
Thank you.